What's up, everybody? Tommy here, Math Productions. It's been a long time, right? Close to half a year, I think, since the last time I streamed. It's been cold. I stream in the garage, got the garage cracked a little bit. It's still a little chilly. I got like a space heater on. You know what I'm saying? It's on low. It's behind my computer, which I didn't think about till like right now. That's probably not the best setup. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we're back in the garage, and it's warm enough. Britt says hello, sends her regards. Her and the girls at the store. You know what I'm saying? So I just got a few minutes till they get back. Gotta help them out, but I've been itching to get back. To not just regular uploading after the holiday season, it was busy madness, but get back to some live streaming with the warm weather coming in, and I'm still addicted to Fallout 4. I can't stop playing it recently. I've been back on Starfield, and then I realized after I deleted my load order because I was like, I'm gonna start fresh. I got like 20 mods that need updated, so I'm just gonna clean slate and then rebuild. But because I'm so proactive, normally at like typing out and keeping lists of my load order, you know what I'm saying, for future reference and to be able to streamline efficiently remaking my load order. I don't do that normally. So, I'm still back to the habit. I noticed it again when I'd be talking. I'd be looking at the mic instead of the cam. Anyway, so it's a pain. It's meticulous to rebuild the load order, but I will get it done for Starfield because I definitely am itching to get back to the Starfield. The Dark Star Overhaul just got an update, which is super, super freaking cool, right? And I've been talking to just tangentially Disquell from there. I guess they got a whole new system of mods with like ship habs and stuff like that. I'm gonna go full born into some shipbuilding. You know what I'm saying? When we get back to the Starfield, I'm gonna actually start doing some of that with my outpost building, and of course, as always, the Xeno hunting and taming, right? And building up our Xeno armies. If you haven't checked out on Ghost Rider's channel, they recently wrapped up their Xeno weapons only run. Super freaking cool, right? And I kind of want to do something similar, right? Maybe I like the FPS of the game, so I might, you know what I'm saying, do more than just the Xenos, but to use the Xenos primarily, that'd be kind of fun, right? But anyway, here nor there, I've been addicted to Fallout 4, and so I've been playing pretty much exclusively on my phone, right? And my load order through Game Pass is set on my phone, and then I realized whenever I was testing it out to make sure that like there wasn't too much dust on all this stream stuff and that it would still work, I realized getting back on the console, I remembered separate load orders. So I saved the load order. It's like 101 mods that I've been using on Game Pass. I saved that to Bethesda, and then I restored it on the console. It's pretty much the same experience that I've had with Starfield, but a little bit better maybe. So for Starfield, when you restore your load order, at best, like it's going to be 30% in the correct order. You'll have the mods, right? Like you'll get all the mods back, but they're not going to be in the right order, and you got to re-clean it up. Fallout 4, it was the same experience for me when I just restored this load order, but it was maybe like 60% correct. You know what I'm saying? Maybe like 65, if we're being generous. So it was better than the Starfield, but it's still wildly out of order, especially like the last like 20 or so. I spent a few minutes this morning already off screen. That's what when the stream started and it was like halfway in. I've been slowly like trying to reorder this stuff. So here for the start of the stream, and what's up, Sly? Definitely good to see you, Sly, brother, for sure. I hope that you've been well over the holidays, you and Thea both, right? But so I'm gonna try to clean up the rest of this load order quickly, and then I'm gonna launch in to a new Fallout 4 survival run with this 101 mod load order. And while I'm cleaning up the load order, I'll talk about a little bit of my philosophies as like a teaser for there's a verified creators community Discord. I put the link in a couple of my recent upload descriptions. I'll put the link in this description eventually as well too. Tons of verified creators talking about their projects, giving sneak peeks on their projects, stuff like that. And I think I don't know if they're like the main host or main moderator anyway, but a Looney Bunny, Alundra, one of the verified creators, right, for the verified creator program. You'll see a couple of their mods on this load order as well. But we were kind of talking about Fallout 4 load order philosophies. They're way more knowledgeable and versed than me. Definitely more experienced than me. I was even admitting kind of to them, I don't really know. I just kind of take kind of some of the stuff I've learned from Starfield and building those load orders, and I try to translate it a little bit over to Fallout 4. But like Fallout 4 has a lot more mods that will like permanently fix themselves at the top of the load order, even if, according to my understanding of load orders, like I wouldn't have necessarily fixed those mods at the top. I probably would have put them down at the bottom, but they're stuck. Even if you move them at the bottom, you back out, go back in, they go back to the top. So, like my understanding of the Fallout 4 load order is, again, like my foundation is based off my experience with Starfield, but it seems like the load order is a little more generous, I feel like, on Fallout 4 in regards to you can just kind of put stuff wherever you want. I still have a little bit of a method to my madness on it, and I'll touch on it here and there. But admittedly, I'm fully still in the learning phase when it comes to understanding Fallout 4 and using all their mods and stuff like that. The biggest thing that sucks, I will forever gripe about this. You guys know me, I'm not normally that negative, right? I don't complain a whole too often, but like 2 gigabytes, bro. 2 gigabytes, that's all I can play with. And when you download the mods, right, it's not even just like you get this finite number, right? So like, and you're good to go anywhere in there. So like the mods, when you download them, they have to have extra space to be able to unpack and install themselves or whatever. So like you might think I got like 40 megabytes of load order left, and I want this mod right here. It's only 32 gigabytes. We're golden. No, you're not, bro, because you got to basically double that 32. You need at least like 60 to be able to download it. So your 40 just isn't going to cut it, right? Sucks. But anyway, hopefully they keep telling us one day soon. You know what I'm saying? One day soon ish, we might get that up to 100. Bro, I just want like 5 or 10, 5 or 10 if that makes it easier. And I would be so happy and I will champion that as the greatest thing ever. But like, I need more than two. You know what I'm saying? But let me go full screen and we'll start talking a little bit about the load order as I clean up these last few mods that are at the bottom that need to be elsewhere. And then we'll launch into how I normally try to start my survival runs and kind of the consistent, I guess, role play ideas that I play with for why I do what I do. 420 Backbone, my friend. It's good to see you too. I hope that you had a great holiday season and New Year. I hope that you've been well, you and yours. Definitely appreciate seeing you this morning. It's good to see you. Well, afternoon. We're just afternoon. There was a time jump this morning. It freaked me out. I woke up and I looked at my phone and it said one time, and I was like, "That's the latest I've slept in a while." But I don't hear anything going on. Is everybody else asleep too? And then I walk out to the kitchen and I see the oven clock, like an hour less. That's when I knew. That's that's what I knew, right? Can you hear me now? OMG, I've been doing so much talking. Oh, I've been doing so much talking. Oh, my first stream back in like half a year. How fucking long? I can cuss now. We're past like the 30-second mark or whatever that golden rule is. How fucking long? 21 fucking minutes. 21 minutes have I been going? And I literally started this out by saying I got limited time. I got limited time, blah, blah, blah. 21 minutes. Happy 2026, everybody. Tommy here from Math Productions. Pon's been chilling this whole time. You didn't miss much from Pon. Pon is out here. For those potentially new to the channel that have suffered through 21 fucking minutes, me being on mute, Pon will probably bark at some point. Britt and the girls send their regards. They're at the store right now. They might be coming back soon. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Do I got a text? Not yet. Not yet. They're still at the store. Wow. I have been saying so much for 20 minutes. For 20 minutes. Sly, to be fair, you're the only one that I had said hello to by name yet. I hadn't looked in the chat. And then I had just looked over and I was like, my man Bubbles and Bip and Tim and what's up, everybody? And I'm muted. What are they talking about? Oh, fuck me, bro. Oh, and it's a good exposure to 2026 because normally, you know what I'm saying, I don't cuss. I don't be cussing as much as I can because I want to be able to show this off to my daughters, you know what I'm saying, and not feel like I'm being a bad influence or something on the young girls or whatever. So I try not to cuss normally in my videos. That's genuine frustration from me right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I are brilliant and a professional. And it's a good introduction, I guess, in 2026 to people that maybe have just found the channel, don't know what Math Productions and myself, Tommy, what we're about, right? Having fun and winging it. You know what I'm saying? I do a lot of writing. I always have to disclaimer that I do a lot of general fan fiction writing, right? Like I'm not a shipper, you know what I'm saying? No knock on it, whatever. But just general action, you know what I'm saying? I just like writing action stories, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. But anyway, there's two types of writers predominantly, and there's pantsers and there's planners, right? We try to be both. We try to be both. Normally there's a loose idea of a plan, but normally we're just winging it. I've been talking about my Fallout 4 load order and was talking about how I recently tried to get back onto Starfield and I had a bunch of mods that needed updated. So instead of being responsible and just updating them and putting them back in their load order one by one, I was like, I are a genius and I'm just going to delete the load order and rebuild it from scratch. That'll be easy. Wasn't easy, and searching for creations in the creations home, I guess, on console sucks, absolutely, and it's frustrating, absolutely. So I am going to go back and I'm going to write down, after watching old videos of my most recent load orders that I've done for Starfield, right? Like I am going to go back and try my best to write those down to make it as easy as possible so that way I can create a Starfield load order and get back to Starfield, right? Because I definitely want to get back to the Starfield ASAP. That said, Fallout 4, I've been playing on console for the past couple, or not on console, on Game Pass on my phone the past couple months. Helly fun, right? And super convenient. Love it. I always talk about Game Pass on my phone with a Backbone controller. Super convenient. But I've been playing on Game Pass, and so when I started testing out the other night my stream stuff, making sure there wasn't too much dust on it, I made this joke like 15 minutes ago. I feel like such a just a tool reusing my own joke 15 minutes later, but I don't even remember what it was. That's the good thing about playing football growing up and having multiple concussions. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes mid-sentence, those ideas are gone. I don't even remember what I was saying. The same joke. What was the same joke? I don't know. It'll come back. Oh. That's what it was. Too much dust. Too much dust. Is there too much dust on my streaming equipment to be able to actually use it still or not? EFGH. Okay. We're good. I wiped it off with my hands. There's not too much dust. But in that, I got back on the console and I remembered, oh yeah, there's separate load orders between Game Pass and the console. And as you can see on screen, I got 101 mods on my current Game Pass load order that I'm playing with. And so my experience on Starfield Creations when I'll put this one right here. My experience on Starfield Creations, whenever I have saved a load order to Bethesda and then restored it, right? It was wildly out of order. Like I had the majority, if not all, of the mods that I was expecting, but they would be like 20% at best in the correct order that I would be anticipating that they would have been restored in, right? And for Fallout 4, I was like, it's 101 mods, bro. I'm not gonna spend like 2-3 hours searching for each of these on a stream. I don't got that much time. But I'll go ahead and try my hand on Fallout 4 and see what happens if I, you know what I'm saying, like if I save it and then restore it. So I did that, and this morning, like before I started streaming, and to my surprise, happily, like I'm not trying to be passive, but like it was like 60% in the right load order. So I had like all 101 mods that I was wanting, and they were like 60% in the correct order. So I was pleasantly surprised with that, right? Like it wasn't perfect still, but it was definitely better than what I was anticipating, and I was definitely happy to take that. But what we're doing now, which is what I was talking about, is finishing up, cleaning up the last of these out of place mods, right? And I guess I might speed run through describing the sections or whatever where I put the stuff in. That's what I was talking about when I realized that I was muted. Is that I wasn't muted. So in all the other screens, not all the other screens, then maybe was I only muted? Maybe when I switched it to the game screen, like when I first started the stream, like on my game starting stream screen. Could you guys hear me then? And it was just when I changed the layout or the scene or whatever. Maybe that's when. Because I thought I had tested to make sure the studio mic was on in the stream start screen, but I did not check it on the game stream screen scene. And that's when we were on that when I noticed. So I don't know. So maybe you guys did hear me at some point. Maybe you didn't. I don't know. Anyway, what I was saying is I was describing how I was moving these back into their correct orders for where I want them, and then at that point we were going to try to jump into a new game on survival, and I was just going to briefly talk about how I get started, how I get myself set up right at the beginning of the game, and that's probably all we're going to have time for, right? Britt and the girls are at the store. When they get back, I'll at least take a break to help them get inside and all that good stuff, and depending on what time it is or where we're at or what's going on, I might get back on. We don't know. We don't know. I just wanted to really, my whole main idea was to make sure everything still worked. The weather was nice enough. I had a few moments. I've been itching to get back on and do a live stream. And I don't know if it counts or not. I think live streams count towards like the quote videos on your channel. And if that's the case, for anybody that saw a post that I put up in the community section, it was before this stream showing 999 videos on the channel. So if I'm correct, then this stream would be the 1000th video on the channel. To be fair, I've got probably like 100 or two videos that are on the channel. They're just unlisted and stuff like that. My very first videos that I put on the channel, which are all like, they're all TTRPG related and crafting related and stuff like that. They're so bad. Like my videos now, I don't think are great. I think they're super quick and easy to make. They're efficient. I love doing them. But like for like Fallout 4, like I was just watching Court rebuild Red Rocket, and I'm like, damn, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like that dude knows what he's doing, and this is epic. If anybody somehow is watching me do this and loves Fallout 4, loves building, and doesn't know about the channel Court, I don't know anything about the person or anything like that, the history. I know this game's been around for 10 years. So I always find that like people that I think make great videos, I find out, you know what I'm saying? We're in 2026. I don't know anything about any of these community people, but Core, their videos are legit. Like when it comes to like watching an epic rebuild of some Fallout 4 stuff. I don't know how to do that. You know what I'm saying? But like those crafting videos and TTRPG videos back in the day, they're rough. Rough even by my loose standards, for sure. I don't know where I want to put. We're gonna put these ones right here. I'm real close to being done with moving this stuff around. And then we'll do a once through of just kind of running down what's what and where and why. And then we will launch into it. Done. Let's go. Haha! Right on, Sly. Okay, so I wasn't muted at first. I was only muted then for a moment. And then I can't. Oh man! So I said like a whole lot of fucks when it was probably unnecessary. And again, I try not to cuss like that. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. We're running down, launching in. So stuff at the top that's up here that you'd be like, Tommy, I don't think normally based on how you talk about mods that you would have put Mutant Menagerie at the very top. I wouldn't, but it puts itself there. Same with Realistic Roads, Settlement Visitors, Commonwealth Overhaul, like all of these magazines, like they all put themselves at the very top of the load order. And even if you move them, if you exit out the load order, go back in, it goes right back up to the top. So I just leave those right up at the top where they are. It ends with the Settlement Visitors DLC add-on for me in this current load order. From here up, all of those mods are going to fix themselves in that section regardless. But then from there, I try to put the frameworks that I use, the Settlement Menu Manager and the HUD framework. I even would throw in there Armorsmith, Curse, Plunder, Immersive. All those are framework type things that impact how the game is going to work under the hood. And I do some loose alphabetization. This part might have been muted. Oh, and we're bringing it back. I struggled so hard with the word, like the concept of alphabetical order in a single word. Alphabetization. I don't know. I'm struggling, but I try to alphabetize within main categories. But then in there, I have some sub rules that can supersede the idea of just a strict alphabetical adherence, right? So where I said all of these, in my opinion, are frameworks, SMM and HUD framework, they do some things under the hood that have a direct impact. They're also mainly used as mods that as dependencies for other mods. Like other mods have to have this mod loaded first before they'll work. So I put those types of mods in at the top of the framework type section. And then the things that are going to impact how mechanics work or how the combat works or how the loot tables work. I put all of those in then just alphabetical. But then Immersive Fallout kind of touches on a bunch of those types of categories of play or categories of mechanics, stuff like that. So I have that at the bottom of this section to kind of make sure that it loads last and whatever it has is going to supersede what's come before. But again, have faith. I'm the type, I don't like to add a bunch of mods that could have potential conflicts. I actually sacrifice and forego a lot of mods that I would otherwise really enjoy, especially even just individual like components of the mods, because of the idea of potential conflicts with other mods that I'm using. It just always ends in a bad time if you increase the risk of conflict within your mods, right? Um, these mods might all be frameworks that can touch on similar things, but they don't directly do anything from my understandings of the mods, both through description and experience, that causes any sort of increased risk for any sort of conflict or crashing or anything like that. But from the framework type stuff, the under the hood type stuff, from there, I go into the things that directly impact the hood, the body, right? Things that are going to be gameplay or things that are going to be additional features that are added into the game. And for the most part, I keep these alphabetical. This section I was saying earlier, I can't remember if it was when it was muted or not, but it could be intermixed as well with like things that are specifically for your settlements in additions to your settlements. I don't think that there's any inherent additional risk combining all those types of mods. what you'll see here when we transition, and what I'm talking about is like graph security, that could be in just the settlement section. It could be in the section where I have it currently that adds additional things to the game. They're basically doing the same thing in concept, just adding something new. I normally just try to separate the new additions and the settlement additions just for the ease of load order management. If I need to disable something, rearrange something, if I'm adding something. So we're getting to the bottom of those gameplay additions that I have. As a buffer, I have the things that add in new locations and encounters. I love the Plenty O, Crowded, and Caves. I have a separate video on the channel about all three of those, and super cool. I recently just got from Ravageron. I'm a huge fan of Ravageron's work from their Starfield mods, right? I think it's super cool. I hadn't even I hadn't even considered it, right, until maybe like a year ago now. But anyway, when I originally started playing Fallout 4, hadn't even considered it that a bunch of the mod authors that I was like a big fan of from Starfield maybe either started out at Fallout 4 or have since gone back and done stuff for Fallout 4 as well. And I'm so thrilled. Like I just passed here a second ago, Melee, Fallout 4 Melee hold block. You see that name? That's my homie Ghost Rider 231. When we get to the NPC stuff, you're gonna see my homie Old Bard. Like, absolutely think it's cool. Didn't consider it till recently that a bunch of my favorite people are making my favorite mods for two of my favorite games. And Ravagerons, this one's a paid creation, the Irradiated Reasons to Explore. I love it. It's like 300 credits. I've only played like 2 hours with this mod on a load order, but like I've encountered two or three of the new encounters, and one of them, right, like I went up to this like cage thing, and I pressed to interact with it, and it said that like I had freed a captive settler, and I was able to choose a settlement to send that settler to that I had like freed. So then like when you use like Old Bard's NPCs names for all, now that settler has an actual first and last name, and they have an actual story that I can play through while I'm playing through my game. Like I encountered this random event, fought off the bad guys, rescued the day because I found somebody that was held captive, told them about this new community that we're building and people are thriving and they can go there, and then you can go back there, see them, and again they got their first and last name, they got a story, you can interact with them just like every other settler. Stuff like that experience alone for me, and knowing that it's a possibility that I can encounter that again, like in the game, that by itself, and it adds in like 70 some new spots or whatever. Fantastic mod. The Nest survival bunkers, I've found a couple of them yet, but I haven't had the lockpick skills yet to be able to get into them. But those really cool. We're trying to get through this so I can get into the game. Now we're into the settlement stuff. Again, it's alphabetized for me within settlement stuff, but this section of mods is just stuff that adds new assets, basically. Some things are mechanical, like moving the workbenches, or like new areas that you can assign as jobs that increase happiness, food, whatever. But this is my settlement section here. This one, Nuttolator, I can't remember when I mentioned a Discord. I'll put their link in the description of this live stream eventually at some point. But it's a verified community, verified creators community Discord, and Nuttolator's on there. And I made an ass of myself because they were talking about their fortifications mod, and I was like, oh, are you the mod author for more fortifications? Because I use that mod all the time. And they were like, no. And I felt like a jackass, right? But again, like searching creations on console sucks. Like the search on console sucks. That's one of the main reasons I like making the videos where I can show off the mods that I found that I enjoy, because it's so difficult to like find mods on console searching through creations. It really is. But through that server, right, I was introduced to Nuttolator, their work. This sandbag fortifications is wildly awesome. Adds in like trenches that you can build up, basically sandbag walls, whole like little outpost towers and stuff like that. Really, really, really freaking cool. Other stuff too, but really freaking cool. But a bunch of the outpost stuff there. Now we're getting into the NPC stuff, right? So of course I mentioned Bard's NPCs names for all. I absolutely love the immersion that that adds for me, making sure that every person that I encounter in the game is named. It's a real world then, in my opinion. It's not just a whole bunch of NPCs with a couple of named characters, right? I love them all having their own names. It makes it feel like they have their own stories, their own backstories, potentially their own ambitions. We don't know. There's Pun. I told y'all it was coming. Told y'all it was coming. It was Sunny. He's outside. He has to let everybody know if he sees him 7 houses down that he's down here. But Bard's NPCs names for all really freaking cool. And then I just recently put up a video showing off Bard's faction races, ranks, and names. For Starfield, the version is just ranks and names. But what I really like about this one is once I actually get into a game, right, and I start building up these settlements, I can really make truly themed settlements, and I can customize all the settlers at those locations, and I can have a lot of fun roleplay wise, cinematically, right, using that mod. Definitely stoked that mod I have on the load order now, right? But the essential NPCs expanded. I'm not gonna lie, two people. One, he's on the thumbnail, my man, the Vault Tech rep, and two, my man, isn't it Sheffield? The former drunk that lives in Diamond City. You give him a Nuka Cola, and then he'll become like he'll be cool with you, and you can send him to a settler. If you like send them to a location and then just immediately like wait or sleep for like 12 to 24 hours, you're going to be pretty good that they're going to safely get to wherever you sent them to. But if you don't do that, there's a high likelihood you're never going to see those NPCs show up where you sent them to. You're going to end up potentially finding their corpse somewhere along the way because they were killed, right? They're not essential. That's literally the main reason. Those two homies right there. When I get the Vault Tech dude, I normally go right into the hotel room and sleep for 24 hours off top to make sure he gets where he's going. Sheffield, you can do the same thing. Just go into the dugout hotel, sleep for a few hours, and he should get where he's going. But I go ahead and just make sure that everybody else, because like when you scroll through it, another main reason that'd be important, the legendary merchants, right? So like those are already rare and hard to find and hard to get because you have to find them at the right time to even be able to get them. So having them not be essential and just finding them dead in your playthrough when you're finally at the moment where you could maybe actually get them, like devastating, right? So it might be a cheat mod, I don't know, but it doesn't break immersion for me outside of the already essential NPCs in the game. So I definitely like that one. Everyone's best friend plus dog meat. You have to have dog meat plus companion, right? Like you can't just send dog meat home. This one, drivables of the Commonwealth, Ragstads. This is again in my NPC and like creature type section. Drivables of the Commonwealth, you can actually build a stable and ride the Radstags like a horse. Picture like Red Dead and you're on a horse, you know what I'm saying? That's this mod on a Ragstad. My cigarettes, I would just rather have actual in real life cigarettes that I'm familiar with. And you know what I'm saying? It's known at this point, I'm a smoker. So being able to pick up cigarettes and cigars or to make joints at a chemistry workstation to use to then create a save file, I can roleplay my dude. Just bought a bunch of supplies from Trash Can Carla. She lights up a square. My dude lights up a square. The game is saved, so we're all good. Now for my equipment additions. Backpacks of the Commonwealth, crossbows of the Commonwealth. Crossbows, I normally don't really care about having any additional weapons, right? So backpacks and Dogmeat's backpack, I really like for the immersion. I don't like being able to carry a whole bunch of stuff in my inventory and my dude has no pockets or no bag anywhere on his person. I don't like that, right? You'll see that with how I start out a new game. I don't pick anything up until I know that I can actually carry what I'm actually picking up, right? So I definitely put in those bags just to make the survival more immersive for me and more fun. But there's another mod that I'm getting to here at the bottom, which is the main only reason that Crossbows of the Commonwealth had to be on this load order for me. We'll get to it. That's the teaser. No spoilers on that one. But the Power Armor backpacks, same idea as the main backpacks. Don't like being able to carry a bunch of stuff with no actual way logistically to carry it. So the backpacks scratch that need for me. Pre-war binoculars I actually really like because sometimes with the way that I try to play, and especially only carrying 2 to 3 weapons at a time at most, some may or may not have a scope depending on where I'm at in the game. So having binoculars that you can pull out and be able to actually see things at range, I really liked that. The quick start, I'm not going to lie, video games is an escape, right? When you got kids, especially when you got young kids, the idea, I'm a chronic habitual restarter. Everybody knows this. When I go through that first 15 minutes and I have to hear Baby Sean screaming for like a prolonged portion of it, it makes me want to just put the game down and walk away. So I have the skip intro scene, so it just jumps me right to the vault as I'm leaving the cryo chamber for the first time. I can pick my name, my special stats, and I make my way through the vault like normal. That's a good compromise for me. I talked about in a recent video the no bugs in Vault 11. I'm not going to defend myself any more than just standing on, you know what I'm saying? My belief that the bugs in Vault 11, 111, sorry, if you're using Mutant Menagerie, is just not worth the frustration right there at the start of the game. Oh, bro, Pon is barking at a kid. Oh, that's definitely a kid. Oh, it's two kids. I'm proud of them, though. They ain't scared. They're not running. Probably because they know Pon is not necessarily one to fear. Like, he thinks he is, but he's not. He's not one to fear. But he is loud and annoying. I don't know how loud his barking is on the mic. I'm assuming you can hear it. But I don't know if it, like, overtakes my talking. I don't know. Jeep and motorcycles. So look, I didn't want to talk about it without knowing what I was talking about, but in that irradiated reasons to explore from Ravageron, it put in a location, we're going to see it here potentially soon enough, that's like in between Sanctuary and Red Rocket. Pon, bro, they're already down the street, bro. Can you stop now? Please? No? Okay. But it put a motorcycle, and it said that like if you have like one or two fusion cores and like one or two cans of paint, that you could restore the motorcycle. And I got excited, but I wanted to contain my excitement. I was like, oh snap, is that going to be a workable motorcycle? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. But fine, bro. But then I have the Diamond City delayed, so that way Mama Murphy doesn't immediately send us to Diamond City and make us feel pressured to want to just railroad the main story off top. I like having a little bit of more of an incentive to kind of roam and explore than to just railroad right to Diamond City. This is a new one for me. It just looked cool, and I had the space, so I was like, yeah, screw it. Contracts and bounties, I think it could be fun. To my understanding, I think it's like Radiant type quests, basically, where you can pick up contracts and bounties to like go and find some stuff. So it could add some extra replayability, some extra fun. Hangman's Alley. Pongo, bro, they are literally way down the street. They are. I'm smart. He might be smarter. You know what I'm saying? Hangman's Alley Extended just gives you a little extra pocket to build with in Hangman's Alley. Underground Railroad absolutely is awesome. It doesn't kill immersion for me, but it does expedite traveling across the map if you're in survival. It gives you an additional area that you can build as like a player home. So I definitely really like that. Now we're though getting into the end of the load order, the things that are going to impact how it sounds and how it looks, and then the things that have to be at the bottom. Bullet Impact Overhaul, Realistic Sounds, love both of those. Things that are going to give me more immersive lights, better maps, actually emitting lights when things glow and don't emit light. You know what I'm saying? It's like a subconscious break of immersion for me. More vines and some trees just adds a little bit better visual. If I had the space, greenery in the Commonwealth would more than likely be on this load order or a similar load order, because I do like how it not only adds in green, but it feels just visibly improved from the base game to me. This load order doesn't have it. I use Vivid Fallout instead. Vivid Fallout, although doesn't adding in a bunch of green, just the way that it visibly improves a decade-old game on console. Absolutely encourage, even though it has a huge size, it's going to be one of the bigger mods on the load order, but Vivid Fallout all-in-one, absolutely worth it for the visible improvement that it gives the game. The immersive HUD, I downloaded that. Better Settlers, this is the one. Zombie Walkers, absolutely love this mod. We'll talk about it more a bunch in future videos and streams and stuff like that. That's the mod that I had to add Crossbows of the Commonwealth. I was like, I definitely want some crossbows to be able to take down these zombie walkers. But then my settlement stuff that has to go towards the bottom of the load order actually should be STS, then place anywhere, then the no build limit, and then we're going to put in our full dialogue interface. This is the most clutch one. If you use the full dialogue interface, you'll get a whole bunch of stuff that says lookup not found and stuff like that. Your Vault 111 jumpsuits, all the Vault jumpsuits, their names won't be found and stuff like that. So you have to get this lookup failed Creation Club full dialogue interface fix, and it absolutely fixes all of those issues. Better Companion says to put it at the bottom. I've said before, literally the only reason that I use it is to make it easier when I've misplaced a companion to just teleport them to me. But I cannot not acknowledge, I have to concede, it does definitely, as you see on this section here, improve all of the companions overall in the game. So I do definitely, obviously, benefit from that, right? But that is the load order. It's now finally fixed and in order. 101 creations. We're going to back all the way out. We're going to let that reload. I don't know if it's going to crash to desktop. If you're like me and you're always really behind on internet acronyms, right? CTD, crash to desktop, right? So see people talking about mods and load orders, and they're like, I continuously get CTD and blah, blah, blah. I was like, bro, I played football growing up. I got a bunch of concussions. I think I might have CTE. You know what I'm saying? But CTD, oh, crash to desktop. I understand now. Let's go ahead and launch start a new game on survival. Creations are currently loaded. Note, achievements are disabled. Confirm. Said before, not going to try to stir up any sort of debate. I know some people really, really care about achievements. Good for them. You know what I'm saying? Wait, what? So it does work. So it maybe works? I can get a usable motorcycle and shit? Oh, snap. We're about to find that out. Quick enough, possibly. Yeah. All right, so name. We're going to name him Thomas Clyde. That's the name I've been playing with. This way, whenever I'm not streaming too, and I get back on Game Pass on my Backbone controller with my phone, I'll just be playing the same one. So I found a new special spread that I've been playing with here, and I actually like it for my RP. So, and because it helps balance for me the RP and the perks that I want in the way that I'm building my character in the game, right? So I always add, when you hear the numbers, it's me counting how many times I tick, and then we'll go back through. But it's 3, 3, nothing, 5, 6, 2, 2. So we end up getting 4 strength, 4 perception, 1 endurance, 6 charisma, 7 intelligence, 3 agility, 3 luck. People normally would say maybe, Tommy, endurance on survival, don't you want that to be one of your best ones? That's your health and your AP drain from sprinting. You're going to be running. You're going to be taking hits. Agreed. I'm a glutton for punishment, and there's nothing really in the perk tree that I care about in endurance or that I really use. If I put it at level 3 to be able to get like Life Giver, that's beneficial, sure. But outside of that, nothing. I used to always want to make sure my endurance was at 5 so I could get Aqua Boy, and then I started playing with Mutant Menagerie. Now I cannot play without Mutant Menagerie, and playing with Mutant Menagerie, you cannot just freely swim in the water. It's not a good time. So, no longer need that perk. Don't care about endurance. Charisma, I want higher than 6, but 6 is a floor. I'm local leader, right? To be able to set up supply lines and then build vendor shops or whatever. Intelligence is 7 for chemist. There's an argument to be made the way that I play as well. 8 potentially would be worth it, or even all the way through. But 7 is a starting point for chemist early on. That's my go. Agility and luck at 3. I've only recently started putting luck at 3, so that way I could get to Bloody Mess. I was finally persuaded that the just overall damage increase, just flat rate percentage for all damage output, was a good perk. You know what I'm saying? Especially to be able to work through. Also having luck at 2 for Scrounger to be able to get more ammunition, whether I'm using that for caps or if I actually am using the ammunition in play. Scrounger's a good one to have too. Agility, I really like having, honestly, at 7 at least, so that I can get, I think it's Ninja at 7, and then Blitz is at 9 or whatever, but at least, I think it's Ninja at 7. I really like having that for the increase that I get to damage on sneak attacks, but we'll build towards it, or I build towards it normally. So, like, when I get the UR special book, that point goes into agility, putting me at 4, and then I can at least get the Mr. Sandman, you know what I'm saying, with the other stuff that I need. But that is the starting spread that I normally do, and I accept that. I don't take the wedding ring yet because I don't want to open it up yet just yet. We'll come back to loot the vault down the line. I might take out the wedding ring at that point to put it in a display, you know what I'm saying, or something, but I leave that there for now. If you're like me, I literally just noticed this like last week. There's another door right here. I've been playing this game for at least a year and a half now. Never knew till like last week. There is literally a door right there. Tommy, what's in that door? Nothing that great. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't got a flashlight yet. Yeah, like cup, clipboard, like nothing that great. But look, a couple extra vault suits. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you like building a settlement and putting your people in vault suits, that random door that I had never seen until last week, it exists. And there's vault suits in it. But so then I come down here, you gotta hit that inaccessible door. I'm not picking up anything, because again, I can't carry much right now. I do like to believe, I choose to believe, that there's at least some basic pockets on the vault suit, even if you don't have it like modified to be pocketed. But I like to believe there's at least like a couple basic pockets. So I picked up in one hand the baton, and I maybe grabbed that one stim pack and put it in one of my pockets. I will justify collapsing or keeping collapsed the second baton, putting that one in my pocket just in case. And then in my empty pocket, grab that beer bottle, I fill it up at that sink. There's a whole bunch more bottles, whole bunch more. My dude has no way right now to carry them out, regardless of carry weight. So I take the one, and that one's either like under my arm, you know what I'm saying, like I'm pinching it while I'm holding the baton, or it's in the other open pocket that I have. Look how awesome this is though. Not having to deal with like 4 boom bugs and like 17 deaths before I even get to this point. It's amazing. I already got one stim pack, not grabbing them. I put the baton, collapsed it back, put it in my pocket. Bro, Pongo. I don't even know if it's annoying or not for like a viewer, bro, but it's annoying for me. I'm not even gonna fight with them. There's literally nothing I can do. It just is what it is. Pick this up. Vault Dweller Survival Guide gives me a permanent gain for XP. We're gonna leave all this stuff. Leave all that stuff. Leave all that stuff. And we're gonna open the terminal. Bro, Pongo! Pon! In the garage! In the garage! You're just being hella annoying, bro, for nothing. Come here. Good boy, yeah. Yeah, good boy. Oh, are you... Oh. Did you get your leash caught on the... Caught on a trash can, bro? We don't got that much time. I just hope he stops. It's like children, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, like, dogs, children, like... Sometimes... There ain't much you can do. Oh, it's somebody walking across the street on the other side of the street. He just had to let him know when there were like multiple houses down that he was going to be telling him on the way past, this is where he lives. Finally, we got the bobby pin. Worst case, slide the bobby pin in the ear or behind the ear. We're good. No bugs all the way through. We're just trying to get this done so we can get out and see the damage. Pick this pit boy up. Thank you, bro, for stopping. I appreciate you. Oh, Tim, please believe. So I will absolutely go back through Vault 111 and clean it out. And I'll set the seeds for it here even right once we get just outside of the vault, right? Because again, so I try to role play. It's basically like creating unnecessary house rules is what I do in my head. So I try to act like, okay, I can justify carrying these. I like to move my melee to the first to the right, my small second to the right. I'll put on my glasses. Main reason there I grab one water as well is I like to move my stim packs to the very bottom, and I like to move my waters to the second. So I can go ahead and get that done. Not going to choose any perks or anything. We don't have any perk points to pick at this point anyway. But we go ahead and start the vault. But so I am going to come back through. So again, I just try to like imagine right now my dude just has limited pocket space. He is a trained veteran, you know what I'm saying? So he understands defense, personal defense. He understands the situation when he went in. He understands what he saw. He understands that there are way more questions that he has answers to at this point. And so self-defense, self-preservation, I think would be kicking in strong at this point. Would definitely want to make sure with limited space to carry things that a weapon would be in hand, right? And is aware enough of, again, like I would imagine at least like combat dressing, field dressing, like wounds, is familiar with a stim pack, would grab a stim pack knowing in the worst case might need one. And you know, I have a vision deficiency, so I need my my visual aids, and would definitely grab those glasses to put on. Bobby pin, I just always want to have at least one in case I find a lock that I need to pick at. And in head, I like to imagine keeps dudes like bangs out of his face or something like that. We're finally at the end. It stutters when you get to the end of the walkway before you go down the stairs because it creates a save point. I don't need to change my special. I will change my appearance so that way my dude doesn't look like Nate. One of the mods that I don't have on this current load order because it's like 100 megabytes, but I really like it is it's a name that starts with the A, but it adds in like long hair and stuff like that. I normally grab that mod so I can give my dude like some longer dreads to try to match my curls. But since I don't have that mod, we're going with this. This little tiny pony. It's called the Colonial or the Colonel. What was it called? The Colonial. So we're gonna call it a tiny pony. That's what my dude's wearing. Go ahead and adjust a little bit how he looks. I got kind of big ears, bushy eyebrows. Brown, and then the last thing I'm gonna do, put a beard on him. Longer than my current beard, but we'll still go with that. And I don't know why that says rashed. It's literally just the semantics of the wording that doesn't sit right with me. So I'm gonna go smooth. I'm scrawny. It is what it is. There's my dude. Confirm. He's got the glasses on. And finally, we're exiting the vault and starting officially a new survival save. I'm gonna try to play through this one for a while and like build up in it and stuff like that. We'll see how it goes. I have chronic habitual restarter syndrome. Everybody knows that. So I know that the way it's presented to him, that it's the same day 20 minutes later, but I disagree a little bit, and it's part of the foundation for how I roleplay out my character. So the way I see it, dude is a decorated war veteran that was in a high enough regard or position that he was giving a speech at like a banquet, fundraiser, whatever. So like he's intelligent, he's a career guy, he understands being realistic about the scenario and knowing that you have to be realistic about the scenario to be able to effectively move forward. So he knows the last thing he saw on the surface was the shockwave and the mushroom cloud growing of a nuclear blast. He knows the magnitude and power and devastation of what that wave is bringing, right? What's following behind that wave. He knows what's going to wash across where he's submerging down into. You see it in the cut screen. It goes. So like he knows all of this is ruined and gone and it's going to be bad. And yes, he does believe that he's just being decontaminated boom, boom. He's out and he's up, and his wife is being, you know what I'm saying, attacked. His son's being taken, all that good stuff. Confrontation with Kellogg before we know who Kellogg is. And then again, we're out and we wake back up. We see the layout of the vault that we wake up in. We see the frost on the still closed cryo chambers. We see moisture build up. We see the ruin of equipment. I could imagine if the graphics were even more fine tuned. This is agreed coming from my own theater of the mind. But I'd imagine at this point maybe things like dust and cobwebs and stuff like that have emerged. So I feel like, again, knowing that dude's not dumb and that he has to be a realist to an extent, he knows time has passed. And if you do railroad yourself immediately out of the vault right back to your house and talking to Codsworth, that's the soonest indication that you have that it has in fact been a total of 210 years. I think that it's a fair assumption that one, the main character would know if 210 years has passed and the last thing he remembered prior to that was a nuclear bomb dropping. Everything is gone, everything is changed, anything that is left is not what he once knew. And the fear of the unknown, especially with his background, it's going to be all about defense and being ready to handle yourself in combat, right? So, in my opinion, right? So, the idea of speed running through the main story and hyper fixating on I have to find Sean, it just happened. I personally don't believe, within the context of how a game starts, I don't believe that the main character thinks that I can go right now and find my still infant son the way that I remembered and find him. I think it's even implied that way in the dialogue descriptions when you're talking to Codsworth and he mentions or asks about Sean. They're all like panicked emotional responses of I have to find my son, they stole my son. That's all normal, but it's not, I don't think, emotional in the sense of it's implying this needs to happen expeditiously. I think it's just emotional in the sense that he's a broken man. Everything was just lost, right? And he saw that the few things that he thought were going to be safe are not safe. He's emotional about that, justifiably. He's upset. I think that's where it's to me, it's not urgency that those emotions are displaying. It's an understanding of this is all bad and it's breaking me. And then I think that's the point where the in real life person picks up that character that they're role playing and has to then decide within character, am I going to be that broken person? Am I going to rush to Nuka World off top and be the overboss and just reign over the Commonwealth, bringing the Raiders in? Or am I going to try to be like, hey, I know that I still have hope that one day I could find out what happened or that they're still here. But I also know that when I recognize good out here and what I assume is nothing but all bad, I could potentially latch on to that good and impact that good, right? But I'm not picking up anything here right now. What I said I do at the start to then justify being able to loot in this area, I'm going to go into my Pip-Boy, I'm going to go over to inventory, I'm going to go over to aid, action, build campsite. This is from the Conquest mod. When I back out, it's going to give me this little duffel bag. So all I got to do now is pick a place that I want to put this little duffel bag. Yeah, right there. Ta-da! And now I have the start of a actual settlement location right here at the base of Vault 111. I do not have the ability yet to build full-on storage containers. If I would have used the ACX Simple Camping mod, I could, but I have to get to a workstation to be able to craft the campfire to start that mod. I can start this one right away, right? But I can't build anything for storage except the bag itself, right? So I can open up the bag to be able to transfer things into the bag, like my extra security batons, and I can take out of my pocket the extra stim packs if I wanted to. But now that I have my camping supplies bag down where I can collect objects and store them, now is the point where if I wanted to drop back down into Vault 111, I would just press that button, go stand on the pad, and I could immediately descend and go back through, get all those water bottles, collect all those up. Because in my opinion right now, I could either roleplay to myself that I'm taking this camping bag that I found in these ruins. That's my idea, right? Like I found it in the ruins. There's the wooden crates over there with stuff. There's the wooden crate inside this Vault Tech box. Not unrealistic for me to assume that we could find this tote bag, if you will, and we either are taking that with us down into the vault to collect stuff up and then just leaving it here as opposed to lugging it with us, or, you know what I'm saying, like I'm just going in, filling up my arms with as much as I can, waddling out, and then I'm just dropping it on the ground and depositing what it is that I want to store at that point, right? Something like that. That's why, though, I like to just rush through Vault 111 just to get out to the surface as quickly as possible. I go ahead and put that down because at one point then I'll be able to, after collecting enough supplies, or, you know what I'm saying, you can remove, like you can scrap those chests, these barricades, and get some basic building supplies. But we could build eventually a workstation here, or a workbench, and then it's a full-on settlement. We can name it, we can assign settlers here. I'm pretty sure we can run supply lines to it. Don't quote me on that one. We'll find out in person on that one. But this will be then a full-on settlement at one point, and the start of it is by placing that bag. Before I run to Codsworth real quick, see, that's what 100% I'm with, right, Bubbles? So, like, I just don't believe that the character, regardless of how an individual person in real life wants to roleplay that character, the foundation for where that character is starting from, I just do not believe that they would just rush out gung-ho, like right out the vault. They see what's going on in Concord and somehow save those people through it. And then they're just going to beeline through the night into Diamond City and then out to the subway. And like, I just do not believe that a person who is dedicated enough to be being honored and be giving speeches, I do not believe that they are not going to be competent enough to want to step by step and methodically work through the evidence that they're collecting, right? And not just running into stuff guns blazing. I don't do permadeath runs because it is a game and stuff can happen. I try to play it though as close to like a permadeath approach as I can. Because again, when I role play, I try to role play it out like this is an actual person that I'm trying to play this actual person. So I try not to get my dude killed a bunch. That's why I stopped up here to show you guys this. You can kind of creep up to it without pissing it off. It's a stink bug, small stink bug. See how little damage though the 10mm does to it? Security baton's even worse. So that buddy sucks if you make him mad. He won't attack you yet, but it sucks to make him mad. But what sucks about that is right up there is like a letter from Dell Lincoln as part of the Mutant Menagerie mod. It's a really cool touch. There's some files right in there, a bottle cap. We already know there's some ammo in there. Plus then you got the cram and the desk fan. So you got good stuff in there. Good stuff. I don't know how close you can get though to the stink bug before it does get pissed off. You can, for a little fun, check this out. Over here, I showed this off on a video. It was like overlaid in the background. If anybody saw, it was the one where I was going through the load orders most recently for Fallout and No. Was it that one? I can't remember. But either way, oh dang! I just lost a bunch. Oh, one came back. One came back, okay. But anyway, so you can take these buddies. And if you click on the triggers, you can rotate them around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a way to change the direction they rotate. I don't know how to do that. But you can take these buddies, and you can offer them as a gift. Be like, hey, friend, check this out. Check that out, buddy. It's for you. And you can push it a little closer. Oh, crap. I don't know how close I can get. I think I can get up on that thing. But I don't have a bed yet to sleep, so if I die right now, I gotta go all the way back inside the vault and come all the way back out. So I don't want to die. But you can grab up a couple of these. You can put the other one in here. Push that one in a little bit. Ha-ha! Alright. Oh, I don't know if it got pissed or not, but check this out. Check this out. You get a safe distance away, because these things can kind of rock it back. 3, 2. Oh, I missed it. Oh, I missed it. Okay. Okay. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Oh, I pissed it off. It knows I'm shooting at it. It knows I'm shooting at it. We're going to come back. We're going to come back to that. We'll quickly get a better gun. Again, if you want to die right when you get out of Vault 111, if you're playing with Mutant Menagerie, just start messing with that stink bug. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Where did this thing even come from? Is that the one that's normally at the Red Rocket? Oh, crap. No, 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 no. I don't know where that one came from. Mutant Menagerie, everybody. That is Mutant Menagerie in a nutshell. That's why I can't play without it. That's why I hate playing with it. Timber Rattlers. So if you're like, bro, I play Fallout 4. WTF is a timber... That might be something from Nuka World. I don't know. But if you're like, I don't know what that is, bro. Well, it's from Mutant Menagerie. I'll tell the story again at some point. Maybe not right now. I don't know. But the first time I ever saw a Wendigo in Fallout, never played 76 at this time, so I had no idea what a Wendigo was. And it was like glitched. Like this. And its legs weren't moving. And it was just like fast. Like around. And it was also the first time I saw, I think it's Gus and Kate, the little girl with the sentry bot. So like this Wendigo came out of nowhere. Freaked me the hell out, and I thought I was for sure about to die, and then I saw a sentry bot, and I was like, oh, F me, bro. I am absolutely about to die. There's this glitched out, freaky ass Wendigo, and now there's a sentry bot, and there's a little girl, and I grew up watching the original Men in Black, you know what I'm saying? If you've seen Men in Black, Will Smith, Tommy Lee Jones, you know the scene I'm talking about, when Will Smith felt the need to take out the little girl in the alleyway. But I was like, you know what? I don't trust nothing about this. And then the sentry bot killed the Wendigo, and then they let me talk to him, and I was glad that I was wrong about those people. It said that like I could interact with the little girl, like she was a vendor, but she didn't have anything in her inventory. So I don't know what's up with that. But that was the first time I ever encountered a Wendigo in Fallout 4. Again, because of Mutant Menagerie. But I was terrified through that whole... I'm pretty sure I put the game down for like a few seconds after that. Like, I need to just...
Enjoy your return to the surface, and thank you.
Yes, Cat and Gus. That's it right there. Bro, Bubbles, I'm so happy. This is why we get along, bro. We have such similar tastes, for sure. But Mutant Menagerie, like, as much as everybody knows how much I love Xenomaster and what it brings to Starfield, like, you would think that I would feel similarly about Beastmaster in Fallout 4, right? Like, mechanically, Ghost has even stated that, like, the Beastmaster mod was a big inspiration for them wanting to do something like that with Starfield. They took it in, you know, Ghost took it and ran with it. Absolutely love everything. It's the single, in my opinion, the single greatest impact speaking, addition to the game speaking, single greatest mod, just because of everything that it holistically brings, that's self-contained, but still seamlessly works into everything else within the game. It's amazing. For me, that mod is absolutely not Beastmaster on. And no knock on Beastmaster. It's absolutely cool. Love the mechanic. But if you notice, it's not even on this load order for me, right? For me, the immersion that I crave from the wildlife in this game is not the ability to tame it as a companion. Yay. It is absolutely to make my life more difficult or more immersive within the world. Like right over here, the reason I'm changing it over here, there's like little beavers. Here they are. Look at these things. Like, this is little subtle stuff like this is why I love Mutant Menagerie. They're not hostile unless I come at them. They're freaky little beavers. You can take them down and hunt them, right? Like, and you get meat and you get pelts, and you need the meat to eat and you need the pelts to upgrade your armor. Like, it gives you an incentive to go out and hunt. And it's not just the same hunt over and over of just Ragstads or Brahmins. You can actually go out and find like little goat things, little beaver things, little squirrel things, little rabbit things. Adds in so much wildlife to the game. It is an incredible addition. And that's just focusing on the wildlife. That's not even talking about the recipes that it adds that you can craft or the magazines that you can collect. It's such a great mod. If you're going to play Fallout 4 and only have one mod, that's the one mod that I would encourage, is play with Mutant Menagerie. These ants, difficult to hit. Got it. Yes. Please don't be a boom bug. Please don't be a boom bug. It's a fucking boom bug. Fuck, fuck, fuck. I promise. You might think, Tommy, it was a effing ladybug, bro. You're literally acting like that about a ladybug? You're literally doing it for the camera. No, I'm not. I do that in front of my wife when I'm playing on my phone. Like, please, no, please. Like, no. Boom bugs are literally the most terrifying enemy in this area to me at this point in the game. They literally boom when you kill them, right? So, like, if you let them get too close, not only are they fast as shit, like, they can definitely track you down. They jump at you, so they're fast and they jump, right? And they hit you, obviously. But then even if you kill them, you land the final shot, wow, you didn't get me. Yeah, it did, bro, because it's going to explode. And if you're close enough, you're probably going to die. Please don't be a boom bug. Yes. Hey, my man OG Tennessee. I hope that you have been good, my friend. I hope you had a great holiday, a great new year. Bro, literally, right? Like the super mutant suiciders. Those are literally like the only super mutants that freak me out. Is I hear that beep and I see them take off and I'm like, F me, bro. They are literally like a magnet, just gonna come right to me and stick to me. And this is gonna be a bad time. So you notice I skipped talking to Codsworth. We'll come back to him. It'll be fine. This up here. This is the single most dangerous spot at the start of the game when you're like me and haven't gone to the cellar yet, at least, to be able to use that bed to put a save point in. Most dangerous point is going to be at the other end of this bridge. First most dangerous point was that blue house. Second most dangerous point was that bush. That bush. Third most dangerous point was then whatever was going to come out of this blue house. But the ultimate, those are like the practice, the ultimate other side of this. It's that Timber Rattler. I swear it had to be that Timber Rattler. That Timber Rattler had to have heard us shooting because the Curse Combat Overhaul makes them way more aggressive when they hear stuff going on, like creatures, enemies, whoever. Maybe they heard us shooting up there, and that's why they teleported. Because I've never seen a Timber Rattler directly up there. But that is what is at the other side of this bridge. If you try to charge it, you could take it. Probably not. You saw the dust swirling? That was from it moving. Oh crap, is it not up there anymore? Oh crap, it's not up there anymore. Yes it is. Okay, so see it right there, right? We don't want to tangle with that. Also didn't change yet. We're going to have to do it at some point. We should just do it now. The only two things that I changed the settings of early on, right off top, I go into the visitors holotape for the better visitors for your settlements, and I skip if there's no vendors, and I don't use factions until they otherwise populate. I do allow for pets. I don't want wild settlements, but there's nowhere that describes what boring settlements is. I probably want that, but I don't know what boring settlements does, so I've never tried it. But that's all I do for the visitors holotape. And then I go down to the Zombie Walkers holotape. Notice I didn't touch the immersive HUD one yet. I don't want that activated fully just yet. But I do go into the zombie settings. And where are they? I enabled the no loot, or disabled the no loot. It's literally another kid walking past. Bro, it's about to be spring and then summer. There's about to be so many kids walking up and down the street. Infection setting. So I debate this one all the time between resurrecting only if bitten or always. I'm going to keep it as always right now just to give us some more enemies and some more fun with that. But I do also like the idea of not having it be always and just be when you're bit. But I do like the resurrection time to be 5 to 10 minutes. That should be like 30 seconds top in real life time for them to respawn. I keep all that the way it is. And then I change the sleep interruption up to potentially 3% per hour. But those are the only other settings that I adjust at the start. But for that Timber Rattler, best thing to do, them 2 frag grenades that are always, no matter what mod I use that changes loot, there is still always 2 frag grenades in that buddy right there. Oh crap, did it see me? No, it didn't. Okay, we're still hidden. But if you aim like from right where it's at, and you go like a length of one of those little green bars on the crosshair, like put one of those in between the top of the trees and the bottom of your crosshair. Go ahead and launch that frag. Bow! Super easy. Every time. Take away the most difficult thing. But that said, there's potentially a couple zombies up here. And then there's a bunch of wildlife over here. It normally seems to be a bunch of spitter bees. At least recently for me, it's been a bunch of spitter bees. But sometimes they hear that explosion and they want to come this way. We took that dude down. Where did the corpse go? No idea where the corpse went. There's the dog. So for Mutant Menagerie, you can pick up files here. All we're looking for right now is to see if we want to take any of this. We're going to take the 308 sniper and those 6 rounds. We're going to put our pistol in our pocket. Forgot. Now we're carrying too much though, so we don't have a bag yet. Put those batons down. So we got the 1 grenade in the one pocket. We got our 10 milli in the other pocket. And then now we're carrying our bolt action. And we're going to unlock this sewer cap. We're going to run past the red rocket, but just like I ignored Codsworth at this point, I'm going to ignore dog meat. I'll show you guys, this is that motorcycle I was talking about. There very well could be a zombie up here. We don't know. Oh, that's what I didn't change. I normally change them from zombie to, I just keep it at feral ghoul. Let me get the dog real quick. He's being a menace to people. Hongo, come here. Come here, inside. Come on. Inside. No. We're gonna move you closer inside so you cannot run outside being a menace to people. There, you good? No, now I can't be outside. But you're being a menace, bro. Literally, our neighbor was going to her mailbox, getting her mail, and Pond decided to be a menace to her. Just sit in the shade, bro. Chill out for a minute. Nothing that we want from that one. See, there's normally one right here. So there might be a zombie somewhere out here. But check this out. This is from Ravage Aeron that irradiated reasons to explore. And if you inspect this motorcycle, it says, barely functioning onboard computer, do you want to repair the bike? 1 fusion core and 2 paint cans required. So I really want to know if I find 2 paint cans, because there's literally a fusion core right there ish in the cave, the little mole rat cave right down the hill from the Red Rocket. There's a fusion core definitely in there. And I would imagine if I don't have 2 paint cans at Red Rocket, between Red Rocket, Sanctuary. Oh, that's even worse, bro, because now it's going to echo in the garage. You do not need to bark at people from inside the garage. And it's a nice enough day, bro. We don't need to shut the garage. Oh, that was a bird. He got super pissed. A bird flew by. This is what I deal with. But so, there's definitely Mutant Bee Swarm, Bloatfly. Not scary, but not terrible. But I'm showing off there's another potentially really dangerous spot because of Mutant Menagerie that's right over here. You don't have to worry about the mole rats ambushing at Red Rocket until you talk to Dogmeat. Even if it prompts me to go talk to the dog or greet the dog, whatever, even if he sees me, the mole rats will not ambush until I actually talk to Dogmeat. Nice little rats tag. But over in this section, Mutant Menagerie throws in a bad guy that sometimes is just like a little larva, you know what I'm saying, super easy to take down. A lot of times, at least for me recently, it was a small rad scorpion. So definitely be careful in this area up here, because there's normally some sort of creature. And again, I've had it frequently enough be a small rad scorpion that it now makes me super nervous and cautious when I walk through here. Of course, it's a small forager ant this time. Go ahead and get rid of that. I know we'll need the meat, but we're not picking up the meat yet because I got no way to pick up the meat. We're going to get a bag from right in there where I will start picking stuff up. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to grab it yet. Just because if you go into that room before you go into Concord, then you won't get the red bandana and the welding goggles. No big deal. But I don't know why I like picking them up there and then giving them to Dogmeat right away. So you have to first encounter the raiders. I don't know how this works, so I might not get them, but I'm pretty sure you have to go to Concord first and encounter the raiders. And then when you go to that building for the first time, it should spawn in the red bandana and stuff. There should be a zombie up here. That one might turn into a zombie, I don't know. But there's bad guys. We don't want nothing to do with that. So now we're going to fall back. If somebody could tell me, I don't know if... Which one is it? I don't know if this is part of the base game or if this is from that like Plenty-O exploration. This discount store, it's literally like a little mini discount. I don't want to go in there because there's like 4 feral ghouls in there that you got to fight off. But it is literally like a mini discount store. It's got like shelves with general goods. Oh, shit. What are you running from, buddy? Oh, you're coming for me. You're definitely coming for me. Just put him down. I'm sorry. I literally wasn't even going to fight you guys right now. Check yourself, fool. Take your watch. Lock it. And your fork. Come at me with a pool cube. You know what's going on? I'm going to take your fork. It's mine now. But I just got that loose in my pocket. It's falling out of my pocket. I don't got nothing to carry. I'm trying to be cautious because there's probably like an ocean blood larva or some bullshit up here that I don't want to fight yet. Sneak in, sneak in. Sneak in, sneak in. Shut the door. I think we're good. We're not going to pick up that bat. But this is the bag from the Backpacks of the Commonwealth. It's a small shoulder bag. Just increases our carry weight by 10. But again, it now allows me to at least feel like once we equip it, drop this down, hopefully we'll be okay. Look at this. Now my dude finally has an actual bag, so I can actually pick stuff up and carry it in the bag. It's not perfect, but it at least makes me feel way better about that aspect of my immersion in play. And of course, it didn't work right. There's some random combination you got to do for the little bandana and shit, but we'll grab the bobby pin box, put that in our bag. That's where we put our little watch and lock it, take them drugs. And now we're finally gonna put down a save. If you choose to just say or sleep for 1 hour and then as soon as you accept it, immediately back out of it, it should still trigger you to be able to get a save in there, but without actually having time pass or anything like that. It does still check for conditions, but it allows you to not have a passage of time while still creating a save file. For our first perk point, Tommy, what's the first thing that you're gonna use a skill level point on? In all honesty, we're gonna go Scrounger first, just so we can hopefully find us some more 308 ammo quickly, because using a scope, way better than just using a pistol. What is that? What is that? Let's get a better view. So none of the zombies are reanimated. We kept that setting on. Oh, snap. What are you doing, buddy? What you fighting? I don't know what you're fighting, bro. Oh! Oh! The chick that came at us. She turned in. There you go. So now you can see real time what Zombie Walkers does. This. And they're just going to just be free roaming everywhere. Oh, I also didn't turn on the setting to get experience. So you can turn on experience to get, or turn on a setting to get experience points for killing the zombies once they resurrect. To be fair, I think by default it doesn't give you experience points, so it's not like double dipping on the experience per target that you take down. I normally do like to turn it back on though, because if a target gets if an enemy gets 2 attempts to take me down, then I should get double the points for taking it down, right? But you have to dome cap these zombies, because if you attack them anywhere else, they will not stop. Marty, you're a madman. What's up, brother? It's good to see you. But go up and kneecap the Timber Rattler? No. No way. Bro, OG, I'm with you 100%. They would just call them roaches, if anything else. They would definitely not call them rad roaches. Because think about it. Rad roaches, rad scorpions, rad bunnies, the ratahorns. There ain't no way. That's some Smurf level type stuff. You know what I'm saying? And while I would agree that, like, you know, Mike Judge is a prophet and Idiocracy is not even funny anymore because of how realistic it is, and there is a good possibility that as a species we might just, you know what I'm saying, decide rad everything. You know, the rad's what made it. It's got rads, which is what plants crave. You know what I'm saying? So rad everything. Could I see that happening 210 years after a nuclear bomb goes off, especially in 4, you know what I'm saying? We're on the East Coast. Could I see it happening? Maybe, but bro, ain't no way. Ain't no way. They'd probably even call them roaches. They'd probably call them, like, that's the fucking terrifying shit. I don't know what I would call it, explicits and nothing else, because they're unnatural abominations that terrify me, all of them. But I can tell you at least, where there might be uniformity in the adjectives that I use to describe them, I would probably not call 60% of the surviving creatures rad something. You know what I'm saying? Bro, it is on point, or on brand though, right? The brand's right, like it. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to Vault 111. I love you. Like, if they remade Fallout 4, or somebody made a mod for Fallout 4, where when you initially, if you don't skip the intro, when you first get up to the gate and you see the vault vendor or whatever getting rejected, if the security guards just told him, or told you as the player at that point, then like, oh, welcome to Vault 111, we love you. I don't know. It'd be hilarious. Just put as much idiocracy influence into the sequence of play as possible. I think you have a golden game right there. Bro, this is the neighbors. You are just always on 100. Cosworth, they killed her.
They
Like, I don't think that's an aggressive response. I don't know why it's the B response. Like, again, I feel like our dude is a soldier. He's a veteran. Like, death, he understands, is a part of life, and it's uncomfortable, but he has definitely talked about it before in an uncomfortable situation. I don't know why it's the aggressive's option to tell Codsworth they killed him. I guess it's not always the aggressive option, but you know how like X is normally the sarcastic option, Y is normally the information option, B is normally the aggressive option. This is all Xbox buttons, and A is normally the one that just kind of passively pushes you through the conversation.
I'm looking. Someone took him from the vault, but I'm gonna find him.
Oh yeah, Bo. So the fusion core at the Starlight. So there's a super easy run if you wanted to like prepare yourself for like a Nuka World early game or like Far Harbor early game or just getting into Boston proper, down into South Boston or the Glowing Sea. Like if you're, especially if you're gonna use power armor, I'm getting at with all that. But obviously the robotics, junkyard, disposal yard, whatever, you can get anywhere from 1 to 3 fusion cores there, plus the power armor adjacent to it, right? And you can get the Fat Man and a mini nuke there as well. And then if you hit US Satellite Olivia or whatever, you got a mini nuke in there that you can pick up. And then at the Mole Rat Den at the Red Rocket, you got the fusion core there. Bounce down to Starlight, and you got the fusion core that's in the locked room behind the projection screen tower or whatever. And then if you go through Concord to the point where you can get the Death Club, to be fair, I don't know if you can go into the tunnels before then, maybe. But in that sewer area where the Death Claw comes from, there is a hidden fusion core down in that corner where a Mirelurk sat or whatever. I thought I told you to come with me, bro. I wasn't paying attention.
Hey. Wait there. Come on.
Okay, so now you're coming with me. Let's go take out these bugs, bro. We didn't kill the ones over here yet. But so there is like a handful of fusion cores that you can get immediately, like real close to the starting point of play. There's the power armor that you can get real close to the starting point of play. And a couple of mini nukes to go with the Fat Man right there at the starting point of play. So you can absolutely set yourself up with armor and munitions and fusion cores early to be able to go out and do what you want to do. Or take all that stuff, go to a vendor and buy most anything that you would want to buy at that point, because you're going to have a bunch of extra caps from that stuff, right? So Cosworth's not leading me through this because I already went down to Concord before talking to him. So you can absolutely, there's a bunch of different ways that that initial conversation with Cosworth can play out, depending on what you have and have not done prior to starting that conversation with Cosworth. All right. So, that is not cleared out. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Run, bro, run. I don't know how. I looked down. I got distracted. And I was looking at what time it was. These things came out. Anyway, so we're good. So now all those things are killed. And we're going to grab us the Grognak comics for the increase to melee strength, or melee damage. And we're going to get the UR special book. And then we got a couple minutes here probably still. I'll show off in Sanctuary, an easy place to get a upgraded weapon more often than not. And then probably the first place that you'll have available to you to put down a save if you go, not that, right into Sanctuary. Put that boy in agility. Not going to grab any of this other stuff yet. So this blue house up here. Most people know by now, but in case you didn't, it's got a stash of weapons on the roof, and it's got the cellar in the back. But also, if you follow this cellar straight out, a little pro tip for when you're building up Sanctuary, there's 1, 2, 3 wild mute fruit plants right there that you can harvest to then replant. If you head straight behind it, there is 1, 2, 3 more wild mute fruit plants. So there's 6 total that you can add in to start building crops there. And then along with the 2 melons and 1 gourd that's already behind the yellow house in Sanctuary, there's 2 more gourds there and a 3rd gourd right there. Again, right behind the house that has the weapon stash and the cellar. Literally right behind it, a whole bunch of crops that you can harvest to be able to start your farm, right? But right back here, there's a little fishing dock, and there's always normally a dead guy. But since we're playing with zombie walkers, he's resurrected. Let's see how Vats does for us. There we go. Took him down. Some stuff we could pick up. I was hoping for better armor. It's got a leg, but we'll skip that leg. But then a bunch of bottles. Always grab those bottles. I just recently found out that there is a toolbox, teddy bear, and a cap stash. I always only ever look at the floor, so I only ever saw the bottles, but those are all right in there. And you can come across here. There's a bunch of armor on the ground and in a suitcase right there before you get to the rocks. If you go up into that building, there's some collectibles. There's 1 insect enemy inside the ruins, and then there's a scavenger right out in there. But my biggest thing that makes me nervous in this area is those mongrels. Especially... Oh, and look at that! The boom bugs! That terrifies me more than the coyotes right now. But the boom bug right there on the shore. But these coyotes, which could also be in a pack with... Which I think is... That one is a wild mongrel. Yeah, so it could be coyotes, mongrels. It can actually be werewolves. You know what I'm saying? Like, those packs are ferocious, for sure. We're not going to grab any of that stuff right now. I'll run up here. I'm so happy, by the way, that I wasn't muted that whole 20 minutes at the start. I really thought that I was like, man, I'm going to have to, like, try to cut out, like, the first 20 minutes so I don't look that stupid. It's only a few minutes. We'll be fine. But I am going to finish up here because Britt and the girls should be back any minute. And we've streamed already way longer than I anticipated. But check that out. There's another duffel bag up here on the roof where we could grab us out a better weapon. These weapons are only this way for me because I'm using the plunder mod, which changes around the loot tables within the game, or the available loot within where it's available at. I don't know how it works, but it changes all this stuff, right? But that's from plunder. But you can get weapons and ammo up here just by climbing up this tree. And hopefully most people know by now that if you come down into this root cellar, there's gold bars, there's medical equipment, there's purified water, there's food, there's brews, and most importantly, a mattress. We actually took an hour nap on that one. But heck yeah. I had a whole bunch of fun streaming some Fallout 4 today. I'm going to switch my screen back. Let me make sure. It still shows the studio mic. Heck yes. But we made it like almost 2 hours, right? We're just under 2 hours. I want to thank everybody for sure that's been hanging out with me while we started out correcting up the load order, getting it in the right order, talked about a little bit of my understanding of the load order and philosophy with it, and then we launched into a game. I didn't really give any sort of best start or tips or anything like that. Talked a little bit about how I like to role play, at least my character's understanding of what they're getting into when they get out into the world, you know what I'm saying? But now we do have a save file that I can access on console and on my phone. They have the same load order and the same order between the two, and I should be able to just continue playing, continue building, and whether it's an upload or a live stream, we should be able to follow this character and see what happens next, right? When it comes to Starfield, we're definitely going to get back into that soon enough, especially with getting the warm weather coming in more consistently, more streaming time available to me. We're going to get our load order re-established on Starfield, get everything updated, cleaned up, add in a bunch of new stuff, and we're going to definitely get back into the Starfield here soon enough as well on the channel. So thank you again, everybody. OG, Marty, Bip, Tim, Bubbles, Sly, everybody that's going to watch this after the fact, anybody that I missed that popped up in between. Thank y'all so much. It's been a long time, and I'm looking forward to all the fun that we're absolutely going to have throughout the rest of this year, right? Spring's not even here yet, but the Ides of March have started, and we will definitely have more to come. Hope that sounds good to y'all. Don't forget, hitting the like button always helps. Subscribing the channel always helps both of us. The notification bell helps you specifically. And always leave a comment about what you'd like best, what you'd want to see next, and anything in between, right? But I'm Tommy. Take care till next time, y'all.